Before we jump into this episode, I like to invite you to join this community to hear more interviews to help you become motivated, informed, and have a positive mindset. All I want you to do is click on the subscribe button. I love your support. It's incredible, and we just getting started. I can't wait to go on this journey with you. Thank you so much for subscribing. It means the world to me. Hi everyone, welcome back to Crystal B Talks. I'm so excited about our guest today. She accumulated over 10 million views on her YouTube channel as a lifestyle content creator. I love her positive energy and cheerfulness personality. Let's welcome Grace Smith. Hi, Grace.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here today. I'm so honored to get to have a little slot on this show and get to meet in person and chat. And I'm so excited to hear more about you today and just get to know each other in person. It's the best way to do it.
Yeah, I'm excited about our conversation as well. So I know you've been on YouTube for over 7 years as a lifestyle content creator. Can you explain the difference from YouTube back then and from now?
Yeah, so the online space, I feel like is constantly changing. You know, things now are kind of moving more from long form to short form. There's still space for everything, but it's just always evolving and you kind of always have to stay up with what's going on. I'm sure you've experienced that with the show, like just kind of experimenting with what works. But definitely when I first started back in 2015, the YouTube space was much more edited and it was more showing like dream lifestyles, and it was very like overlays and music and bright colors and saturation, filters and all that stuff. It was like the original like beauty guru era. Like that's what everybody was. That's everybody that I watched. If you wanted to go into like the lifestyle space, it was very like makeup heavy focused. It was, you know, like people's like mansion tours and their makeup collection.
MTV crib, all of those stuff.
Yes, the best. I loved all that stuff. And so I would kind of try to make things like that. But what I really liked about the transition over the years is I feel like the space has moved into being much more real. I feel like over my Instagram or my TikTok, like my YouTube content is very unfiltered. There's no literal filter on what I look like versus like Instagram. A lot of the times I'll use a filter for stuff and it's kind of more me rambling. Like I'll just put up my camera while I'm getting ready and talk for 10 minutes about however I'm feeling, whether it's positive or negative. I try to over all my social media make it a positive space. I do think there's a lot of like negative and self-deprecation on the internet, but at the same time I think it's important to do like reality check-ins because people compare themselves and it's just not reality what you're seeing. Like a 10-minute vlog of somebody, you don't really usually know what they're going through.
Exactly.
And where I keep a lot of my personal life private, if it's something that I'm comfortable sharing, something I've changed over the years is definitely trying to share more vulnerable things and like the lower moments. And when I'm feeling self-doubt about my career, or when I feel like things aren't like going super well, or I'm not getting a lot of opportunities, like trying to share that more. So, and I feel like overall the space has moved in that direction more. And I really appreciate that because I think most of the internet is you're just constantly comparing yourself to people's like highlight reel. And I think YouTube does keep it more real. It's still a better version of yourself in real life. But it is a little bit more real, which I really like.
Do you think social media had a big part into like how YouTube and people's attention span is now to like watch like short content instead of like long hours of vlogs and content?
Yeah, because if you think about it, back whenever, especially when YouTube was like the main video, that's like what all my friends watch. That's what I watched. Those were kind of short videos compared to like the TV shows we were watching that were like minimum 30 minutes. And I didn't have like also a phone that I was scrolling on. Like now if I have The Bachelor on, I'm also scrolling on TikTok and I'm also texting somebody and I'm also on my computer doing emails. Like my attention span's so bad. I think definitely the short form video has played into that. And I'm 100% a consumer of that. That's part of that.
Yeah.
Like it's just the instant gratification of getting the information that you want right away and getting, you know, gets right to the joke right away. It's not like a whole intro moment and everything. So I still personally have like such a heart for long form and that's what I consume a lot of. But I think kind of adapting is, you know, maybe making a short Instagram reel out of a vlog that I still post the 30-minute vlog of because I love that. But, you know, not everybody has the attention span for that, which is understandable.
Yeah, absolutely. And do you have like any inspiration of why you started to do content creation?
Yeah, so growing up, kind of how I'd said with that whole era, I consumed all that stuff. I loved it. I was always watching all the beauty gurus, all their fancy stuff. I was obsessed. And even from like a very young age, I would watch very much like TLC, like reality type content.
Yeah.
Yes, I would watch more of that than like kid stuff sometimes. And I always kind of was pretending I was vlogging. And so like I'd be at the store pretending I was like, this is what I'm getting today. And I'd always be like, stop. Like I'd be like touching everything, pretending I was doing a shopping vlog. But now like I do now as an adult, like from a very young age. Once my family had a camera, I was like making vlogs on it. Once I got my first iPod, like my childhood best friend, I'd be sending her like back to school supplies haul, which I still filmed a year ago.
Yes.
But I was like not allowed to post anything anywhere, which is probably good because I'm sure it was very cringy stuff. But I would just like send all my friends my little fake YouTube videos. And I did that up until like middle of middle school. And then I kind of, you know, got into sports, got into the moment that like, everybody is at that age. And then my freshman year of high school was when we were going on a beach trip. It was actually my first time ever going to the beach. And I was like, I want to save these memories, document them, put them on YouTube and try it. And then I was like, I actually really love like the editing process and the creative process behind just like, besides just like taking pictures or taking a video to look back at someday. So from there, I just never stopped. I was like, I actually love this.
I love that. I could sometimes, even though like I'm not a lifestyle content creator, but sometimes I catch myself like doing my makeup or those get readies with me. Like,
yes.
I'll be on the phone with my sister or my friend. I'll just be like, this is what I'm using.
Yeah.
I could totally relate. So as an individual yourself, for viewers that want to have like more insight about you, what are some of the things that you like to do outside of YouTube?
Yeah, so I have two pets that are like a very big part of my life.
So cute.
I talk about them definitely probably way too much. So usually when I'm not working, that's what I'm spending my time with. My pets, taking my dog on a walk. My cat has a backpack. She comes a lot of places with me.
I love it.
I spend a lot of time with my family. I'd say my family is the biggest reason that I moved back to St. Louis. They live out in the suburbs, but I spend most weekends going out there and staying with them. I'm going out to stay with them tonight, probably. Like at least once a week, I'll get food with my mom. Like that's so important to me. And so, yeah, I feel like when I'm not creating, I'm like with friends or family or my pets. I think people in my life in general are just like the most important thing over. I wish I had more like little niche hobbies, but I feel like I do fill a lot of my alone time with my creative things and like working on my YouTube channel and doing those things because they are also kind of creative for me. So the time I have outside of that, I really like to spend, with family, friends, just the relationships that I have.
So do you have like any tips or tricks of how to like still keep posting videos like all the time? I know there's lifestyle content creators or content creators in general that post like 5 videos, 3 videos a day. So
yeah,
do you have like any tips of how somebody that wants to go into content creation to just lean into that?
Yeah, I think, well, one thing with consistency is you can kind of pick what that amount's going to be. I think if you are working a full-time job and you can't do 2 YouTube videos a week or you can't do 3 TikToks a day, like you don't have to start there. You can start with just doing 1 every day and making that your goal. So I think making a goal that you can actually keep up with consistency wise is more important than having like 1 day where you do a ton and then you kind of go missing for a minute and then you come back. So kind of having grace with yourself in that, because also you're comparing yourself to creators who have all day, a lot of creators who don't have a full-time job. So if they have all that time, you can kind of be like, okay, I do want to post every day, but what does that mean for me? And what does that look like? Also, I think making content out of your real life is something that's helped me over the years when things get busy a lot. Things don't have to be perfect. Your space doesn't have to be super clean. It can be late at night. You know, if you're making a YouTube video and you get home from work and it's like 8 p.m. and it's dark out, there are people who are watching that who can relate to that lifestyle. And they'll actually find community in the aspect that you're experiencing the same thing as them. So I think sometimes you kind of want everything to be perfect and glamorous and clean. And I'll fall guilty for that. I'm like, oh my gosh, my apartment looks crazy. I cannot make TikToks in here today. I cannot film in here. But then it's like, that's what so many people's bedrooms looks like. And people online usually are looking for community and they want people they can relate to. So when your life's a mess and crazy and you're busy, that's actually in a lot of senses more relatable to people than when people's life looks all put together. So I think just making content with the situation that you're in and going for it doesn't have to be perfect.
I love that. You mentioned community. Was you able to find a community within the lifestyle vlogging?
Yeah, I feel like the online space has just brought community in so many senses. I feel like one, with online friends over the years, just meeting so many people who do similar things I do. And I find it to be such an uplifting space. I mean, there's girls who we've never met in real life and we don't even actively text. And like, I'm the first to comment on all their pictures and they're the first to comment on all of mine and they watch all my videos. I watch all of theirs, and you feel like you know them because you're both consuming so much content about what each other are up to.
That's true.
And your lives. So it's really nice. And that's a great thing with online friends is when you're both posting a ton, it's really easy to keep up with each other because you can pick right up because you know exactly what they've been up to. So that, in a sense, I had one online friend from when I first started YouTube that a few years ago, I actually flew out to Washington and met her for the first time, went to a music festival together. It was so fun. So yeah, I've always loved having friends in the online space that kind of helps, that community aspect helps you to like keep going and stay motivated and stay inspired when you have people in your corner. And then I also feel like even in real life, it's helped meet so many people. I mean, us having this opportunity to meet, I've had so many things like this. In college, that's how when I transferred schools, that's how I made all my friends. I literally just like messaged a million people off Instagram. Like, I think the community aspect, even if you don't do a ton with social media, you don't post all the time, like using it to your advantage to meet people is great. Like, I think it's only weird if you make it weird. Like, I think reaching out to people and being like, do you want to get coffee? I just moved here and I'm looking for friends. Like, just so start simple. Out there. Yeah, it's so simple. And like worst case, they don't reply and you never meet them and there's no difference. And that's just, honestly, I feel like the internet has brought me most of my friends that besides my lifelong ones, that's how I've met people along the way. So
I love that.
Yeah, that's like one of my favorite parts of the internet and like the online space.
Grace, in a short version, what would be your key to success?
Showing up as your true self, I think, is the number one thing. There's, as we've kind of talked about, there's so many people in the online space and there's already all of these. So you're the only you and you have to show up as yourself and that's what can set you apart. So whatever that looks like, consistency and being yourself and showing up in ways online that put out your personality and put out your style and put out the things that you have to say. And yeah, just sticking true to what you want to share online. Trends are great and you can kind of like lean into them and find your ways that you fit into them, but making sure the things that you fit into, because yeah, you want to keep your overall branding is easy when your brand is just who you are and yourself and your style. And so sticking to that, I think, has helped me especially evolve over the years when I'm transitioning from college content to post-grad content. The common denominator to keep the same viewers is myself and my style and the way I talk about things and the things I talk about, even when most of my content, the actual content of it, is changing. So yeah, keeping your branding just you, I think, helps a lot.
Yeah, since you mentioned content constantly be changing, do you think it's necessary for people to keep changing up with the trends or keep up with the trends?
Yeah, I think that adapting to ones that fit with you. I think that you don't want to just hop onto every single thing because it's working for somebody else, because there's so much content already out there. Like I said, like you have to set yourself apart and be different and be yourself. But there's definitely a way to, I mean, if there's a trend going on, it's going to get pushed more. So finding a way to spin your take on it, or, maybe use the audio that's trending, but make it about the things that you care about and the things that you push out. So yeah, putting a spin on it to make it you. I think it is important to kind of stay up with, to keep your, content like relevant and interesting to people. But yeah, still at the end of the day, making it something that you would make anyway.
Now going back to YouTube, when you make videos, like, have you ever came across like a mental block, or like have there been any struggles?
Yeah. I feel like it sounds like fake when I say that I haven't, but honestly, I think it's because since I started, for me, YouTube has always been like my escape. And if things are not going well in my personal life, or I'm having a low, I've always felt that instead of not wanting to create, I almost want to create more, because it's like an escape for me. And I can kind of have a camera to talk to, and it's like an outlet, and I can make videos and edit them to feel the way I want them to feel. And it's kind of like, yeah, it's a little outlet for me whenever I'm feeling uninspired about other things. There's definitely times where I've like felt less motivated to edit or, get out the camera, but it's always something that's made me feel better once I like get it out and start doing it. So yeah, I think that's sometimes a great way to tell if something is like your passion and you really want to do it also, because obviously there are going to be ruts, and that's so normal, especially if you're pushing yourself. But when something's really your passion, I feel like that's your outlet and that's like your creative hobby, and it brings you peace even when other areas of your life, work-wise or whatever, you aren't feeling like you want to do anything in.
So I don't think I have asked you this, but how you came into your style and like creativity, and how you just the pinkness of your theme of your YouTube.
Yeah, so I think my style in general has kind of evolved over the years. Just, I think especially with the pink, when I was younger, I was like such a girly girl, and I feel like throughout the years of growing up, it kind of becomes like, at least like, I feel like for me, like elementary school, middle school, like you didn't want to be that like girly, like, I don't know, it was very, that was kind of the thing at the time. And then just in general, like moving into a business space, I think a lot of things, it's associated when things are like very feminine or very pink or girly, that it's like not as intelligent or powerful or anything like that. So kind of as I have gotten more into it and believing in myself, I like to just like really express that true style that I have. That's like, I love girly, I love ribbons, I love bows, and it doesn't make me any less intelligent or qualified or creative or any of the things. So yeah, I think leaning into your personal style, whichever way that is just, there's a million other people. You have to be fully yourself because there's so many people online, and there's a voice already, a million voices of other people, and there's only one you. So if you show up as yourself, you can bring something different. But if you are, you know, like, oh, I'm trying to evolve to what everyone else is doing all the time, like that already exists. So
I love that. Well, thank you so much, Grace, for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I had so much fun chatting with you. This was such an honor. I love the show. So thank you.
I love it. I love it. And I hope the audience and viewers that's watching on YouTube could take away also like the positivity. And I love how you said it's only one you. So just block out all the negative comments and, you know, just follow your own path, and be around people that have the best interest in you at the end of the day. I think that's really important. And yeah, I hope you got some content creation tips, and subscribe to the video if you haven't already. Bye, guys.